Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Iron Will. This is the 1994 film. It runs about an hour and 49 minutes. It's about a boy and his sled dogs. Actually, it's one of those. It's another one of those. Disney loves doing movies about dogs and sports and competitions to save the farm, the school, the whatever charity group, whatever it is, uh, overcoming impossible odds while nefarious villains plot their demise. This has all of that. It's actually, um, I'll tell you the basis of the story. Young Will Stoneman is just a kid who's looking to go to college. He lives in St. Paul, Missouri. This looks like early 20th century. There's trains. Don't see any cars, but there's trains. If it's not early 20th century, it's late 1800s. Yeah. So either way, going to college is not a thing that a whole lot of kids have an option to do. It's not cheap by any means. Uh, Not that it's gotten any cheaper now, but he's basically helping out on the farm with his dad, his mom. They also have some other help. A Native American man named Ned. Well, they have sled dogs to move things around and supplies, things like that. And Dad is this tremendous dog sled dog sledder. Dog sledder. So, and Will's doing his best. He doesn't always get along with some of the dogs, but he has one of his own that he's buddies with. But beyond that, he's nowhere near as good as his dad. But he's great. He's fast. He's determined. He's outraced a train in the very first time that we see him. He's racing a train. He's working for. He's got a job and that he's on the verge of losing just because he doesn't show up in time, even though he can outrace a train. He's got all sorts of struggles and things pulling him here and there. It's meant to show you that he's being an upright guy, upstanding guy, even though things are against him. He's used to the struggles. He doesn't have it easy by any means. And then things get worse. Dad, doing the Disney thing, Dad dies in a dog sledding accident as they're moving huge chunks of wood. For some reason, there's a trail right along a pond or a lake or whatever, and they make a hard turn, and Dad goes into the drink and drowns. And as the dogs try to struggle to pull him out, it's just too much weight, and even Will is there at that moment to try to help, but you see the dog struggling, you see Will struggling, and Dad just cuts the rope. He has enough strength, even though he's probably freezing in that cold water. He has enough strength to pull out his knife and cut the rope, and he's pulled under. I've told you that's in the first 5 minutes of the film. Yeah, so yeah, Will takes it super hard, but as a result, as he's in mourning, he discovers that Dad was planning to join this cross-country dog sledding competition, which nobody thought he was serious about, and they certainly don't think Will's qualified to do it. But Will's like, well, you know what? Without Dad, we can barely keep the farm going, and he still also wants to go to college at the same time, and $10,000 is the prize. That may not sound like a lot now, but back then, that's like winning $1 million, give or take. It's a lot of money. And they are, everybody's like, no, you can't do it, you can't do it. But of course, in the weird little cliche thing that the mystical Native American man starts spouting certain mystical phrases, and then he starts saying, I'm going to train you. And they spend a few minutes doing a montage of Will being brutally trained, and at least enough for us to go, he's learned how to properly race with the dogs. So yeah, they don't spend a whole lot of time on it, but it's enough to get you to the race and join it. Well, of course, once he gets there, it's in Canada. It starts in Canada. It goes, I think it goes even in the U.S., but it goes all over. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe does it end in St. Paul? It's anyway. It's probably a lot of coincidences here, but the kid joins, and he's joined late, and the people in charge. David Ogden Steers, by the way. I need to tell you first. Mackenzie Austin plays Will. You might know him from Homeland or Orville or other things like that. Magicians, I think. He's in a bunch of different things, but here looks like he's out of. He's got this '90s hair, and it's so perfectly coiffed. Like when we see him normally. And he honestly looks like he belongs in Treasure Planet or something. I don't know. Maybe was it Titan AE? I keep getting this mixed up. Anyway, it's very highly styled hair for that era. He shows up late, and the people who are in charge, David Ogden Steers, which we would know from MASH, he was Charles, he is like, I don't want to have any more people involved in this. I've got a lot of money riding on this. That's his story. He's a rich man, and he's the one who's running this thing. There's a number of other sponsors, but he's like, no, we're not gonna let any more kids in here. He's like, there's a late fee. How much do you have? Oh, it's I only have $2. Well, it costs $10. As a result, a certain newspaper man played by Kevin Spacey, who seems to take a liking to the young man, pays the other $8. And the kid is entered in, and people are like, oh, we would like a nice little challenge. He's not going to do anything. We're all professionals. Humor him, and then, we'll all just blow him out of the water and go on. And there's people from, the United States and England, I guess, and all over and Iceland and all over Europe. And there's just different guys from all over. And they're all very intimidating. Some are very friendly, and he gets to join up with them. They humor the kid, whatever. So he gets to join the race, and from there he makes a lot of enemies and a lot of friends in this challenge. And he surprises a lot of people along the way, not the least of which is Kevin Spacey, who is really exploiting him to sell papers. American young man, with ideals and a lot of chutzpah, whatever it is, just to however we can do to help sell papers and get that byline that moves him to the front page, hopefully. So yeah, there's a he's not really a villain, but he's a less obvious villain. He's exploiting him. But there are definitely real hardcore cartoonish villains in this thing. A guy named George, played by Bjorg Gillerson. Yeah. He's just like he's got the foreign accent, which I can't even remember which country he's from, but it's menacing enough to make you think that Hans Gruber might be one of his descendants. And he is just, every scene he's in, you're just like, oh, boo, I don't like that guy. It's kind of fun. It's an old school. It feels like this is a Rocky movie with bobsleds. And it's so, honestly, beyond, it's super corny, it's super earnest, and it's predictable to a fault. But it's not bad. But again, you're gonna know exactly how it works out. Who is who? There's other actors in this that you might recognize. Brian Cox plays Angus McTeague. Angus is so Scottish, so freaking Scottish. But yeah, you get Brian Cox in this, and that was a bad attempt at an accent. John Terry plays his dad, who dies early on. he's also Christian Jackstad from Lost. He has a lot of he's doing a lot of ABC Disney stuff, and he's part of the whole thing. But anyway, yeah, it's about a boy uh, who's way in over his head, trying to win the money to save the farm and go to college. Will he win? Well, the movie keeps that tension going all the way to the last moments of the race because it's brutal. It's a brutal race. There's a little bit of violence. There's dogs are harmed, not in real life. It's just movie harmed. It's very much a family film. You root for you can't help but root for the kid and root for the dogs, and even root for some of his rivals who wish him well, who actually help him out, and he returns the favor in the process. So it's not all just everybody against him. There's some good sportsmanship, and this is a story about the good guy being a good sport and doing what's right, even if it might cost him the race. But you get an excellent villain in George, and he just eats the scenery, but in a great way. He's a great ooky villain. So if you like movies like that, if you like the big sports challenge, wrap yourself up in a blanket because there's nothing but snow in this movie. It's all cold. So if you have a roaring fire and you want to wrap up in a blanket, put this on Disney Plus. I think the whole family could enjoy this. Yeah, if you're an adult, you know exactly how this movie's going to go. Kids might be a little bit surprised about the little twists and turns here, but for the most part, I think this is a good watch. I was surprised. I was expecting to just go, oh, this is just exhausting, and despite the predictability of it, it actually is well shot. Some of the dialogue is kind of cliche, but I recommend it if you need a good winter's night adventure for the whole family. Give it a shot. You can do a whole lot worse, as we've seen on Disney Plus. But yeah, Iron Will. Oh, by the way, you can figure out Will Stoneman, Iron Will. He is Iron Will. He gets the nickname with a little help from Kevin Spacey. By the way, if you're a young man these days, don't take any help from Kevin Spacey. Just saying. Let's pick tomorrow's episode.
252.
252. Why weren't you as loud this time? No, I put this volume down. 252. Wait, man, are we sticking? What number was yesterday's? Huh. Okay. I'm gonna have to check this. I know we're 13 minutes in. Okay, I'll check it after I log off, because this isn't a natively Disney film. This is from Fox, and the last time I checked this, back when we first started, it actually wasn't on the service, even though it was listed on my thing. So I'm going to show you what it is, and if I don't come back right afterwards, then we know that it's good, and we'll watch that tomorrow. Anyway, we're watching Ice Age. Yep. More ice. Come on, you're getting into winter. This is all cold stuff. Ray Romano, Dennis Leary, all sorts of people in this animated adventure comedy. So I'll see you back here tomorrow on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge with Ice Age. See you then. Bye. Okay, I'm back. Look what we got here. I searched Ice Age, and I just have Ice Age: The Great Escapade, which we already watched, and Collision Course, which is a sequel. So no original Ice Age movie. I knew it's good that I stuck around and checked it. So that means we have to pick another episode. I don't know why they wouldn't have the original on here if they have the sequel and Easter special. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, here we go with tomorrow. Well, with another selection for tomorrow.
347.
347. Huh. Okay. Oh, yay. I kind of been wanting to watch this for a while. Um, this is a documentary series. It's new and it's exclusive to Disney Plus. It is the Marvel Heroes Project. So there's a number of episodes. I'm not really sure how long they are, but we'll maybe watch a few of them depending on how. If they're like half an hour or longer, we'll watch one or two, maybe three. But if they're really short, I might just blow through them all. So Marvel Heroes Project. Yeah, Marvel's Hero Project on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow.